Here's what you have to. I'm just gonna let's preface everything today with this. Whatever you get away with Lionel on the podcast is not going to work with me because I'm here with you in real life. So all the cap and all the bullshit that we usually spit and can spin, I'm 20 minutes down the road from you. I spend a lot of time with you. So leave the cap at the door. Please, let's continue.
Okay. So let me start over. And here we are. This is the But Peep This podcast.
People going on.
We have a couple of different things to talk about today. If you've been paying attention to the news, you'll know one of the things that we're going to be talking about. But everything else seems like it's going to revolve around food and music. So not too different than what we normally do. But today, as promised 2 weeks ago, I have a very, very special guest. Normally, I'm the best looking person on the podcast. However, today that's not the case because our guest, for this week is my wonderful, beautiful, fantastic boyfriend, Diante. If I can get in some applause in there, that would be.
I'll clap for myself.
There you go, fantastic.
Well, what a lofty introduction. Thank you, Sean and Lionel. I am so excited to be here today. Ready to get cracking.
Are y'all gonna do this mushy shit throughout the whole show?
That was like
shit yesterday.
That was like 30 seconds.
Yeah,
that was like 30 seconds.
He just said I look good. I mean, they're gonna see that when it gets posted. So just a little warning. Disclaimer.
He is definitely the most good looking person on this podcast currently. I know, Lionel, you feel that is not the case.
Not to spit out my drink.
I can tell by your hat that you own a mountain bike. So,
babe, do I own a mountain bike?
No.
You are not hitting well with these jokes currently.
And listen, stop defending his ass with my jokes.
Do I own a mountain bike?
To make them not funny.
Lionel. I was reserving my energy for Sean today, but you make me feel like I need to set aside about 20% for Lionel. So let me know what we're doing.
So when we sat down yesterday, for context on what's happening, we talked for 2 hours. And in that time, I think we planned for the podcast in about 10 of those minutes. We brought on Jennifer too, because I needed Jennifer to help me prove a point. In which I walked away feeling just fine. And I'll tell you how I know, because Lionel started recording, and then when he realized that I was not going to be wrong.
Jennifer literally hopped on this call and proved you wrong. What are you talking about?
That is not what happened.
You sound like a Republican with your selective memory. But anyway, dad joke.
I got a good one. I got a good one.
Deontay's hitting with the dad jokes.
When you're singing in the shower and you get soap in your mouth, what is it called? Soap opera.
Okay, people.
I like it.
It's the second person who's banned from doing dad jokes on this
episode. I got one more for you.
Okay, redeem yourself.
The sun asked the moon, "Did you get a haircut?" And the moon goes, "I clipped it. I clipped it."
Okay. All right. Yeah.
Sean's obligated to laugh. I'm not.
Okay.
All right, Lionel, let's hear it then. Give us a dad joke.
I don't want to now because it's like
you're so damn funny.
Your joke wasn't better. What does a tick and the Eiffel Tower have in common?
A tick and a what?
And the Eiffel Tower.
No clue.
They're both parasites. Paris sites. That's how you do a dad joke. Now,
give it up for Lionel.
Those were jokes.
Parasite.
We'll be here for y'all Friday, for us Tuesday. Doing the same thing. Maybe one day we'll get a comedy gig.
Well, at least me. Before we move to unpopular opinions, real quick, just let's give a quick shout out to Steve.
Steve
is getting married, y'all. I don't
Y'all
know.
remember Steve baked chicken.
All of our listeners who don't like chicken.
Who don't like chicken?
Chicken, huh?
Steve.
Congratulations, Steve.
Steve is getting married
Good episode.
Sunday, so that means I got to go to Bama because, of course, naturally I would be his best man.
Congrats,
So,
Steve.
Shout out to Steve and shout out to Mia. Now, Diante. The people are probably going to hate you at the unpopular opinion, just like they hate us. But
I felt obligated to bring up the tots.
no, I mean,
okay, so I'm just going to give you all a few.
If we bring up the tots, I'm letting you know it's the same thing as yesterday.
It's not going to get anywhere.
It'll be the same thing.
Yeah, so I'm just going to give a few off the top of my head that come to mind. Chicken wings are overrated. Watermelon, I could sleep tonight if they stopped existing and I would sleep okay. I'm okay without watermelon. Mayo isn't as bad as people make it out to be. Chick-fil-A is mid. Ranch is probably the best condiment that we have on the face of this planet. Unpopular food opinions.
Okay, let's work backwards. Okay.
Yeah, we got that's a lot of disagreements here.
Ranch, I would say, is the second best condiment behind barbecue sauce.
Literally where I was going.
But what
100% agree.
What are you putting barbecue sauce on?
Everything.
Is my question to you.
You can literally put barbecue sauce on everything you put ranch on.
Everything.
Don't start lying. I've seen you order ranch more often than barbecue sauce. So what are you putting barbecue sauce on? Here's what you have to. I'm just gonna let's preface everything today with this. Whatever you get away with Lionel on the podcast is not going to work with me because I'm here with you in real life. So all the cap and all the bullshit that we usually spit and can spin, I'm 20 minutes down the road from you. I spend a lot of time with you. So leave the cap at the door. Please, let's continue.
Okay. So let me start over. Have you seen me eat barbecue sauce on a lot of things? No. However, how many places do we go that would actually have decent barbecue sauce?
Okay. So here we are. It is harder to find good barbecue sauce than it is to find really good fucking ranch. Yes. So therefore, since a good ranch is more ubiquitously available, ranch takes the #1 spot. I can go to fucking McDonald's.
In Sean's, like, for him, yeah, but for me, I use Sweet Baby Ray's on anyway. So on the same aisle that they would have ranch dressing, they got Sweet Baby Ray's.
Is silver better than gold?
Hold on, Sean. Stop for a second. I eat Sweet Baby Ray's because I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. I eat Sweet Baby Ray's. So just like whatever brand your ranch is, Hidden Valley, whatever or Ken's.
What are you putting the barbecue sauce on is my question to you.
Me? I use it to marinate. Okay. I make a lot of chicken because Mel only eats boneless, skinless chicken breast. So you got to marinate it. It got to be flavorful. I marinate my steaks in it. When I make my homemade Philly cheesesteaks, I use barbecue sauce. I actually have my own barbecue sauce like recipe that I make sometimes, depending on like if I'm making 10 or 12 pieces of chicken, I'll make my own sauce. But if it's just me and Mel for 4 or 5 pieces, I make that. But pretty much tenders, go to Zaxby's, get a Zax sauce, get a barbecue sauce. Wings, pretty much every meat that would accept barbecue sauce as a legal tender.
As a legal tender.
Which is all of them. Pretty much. Not really one that
I only really eat ranch with like tenders, nuggets, wings.
I feel like you could slap ranch on anything you can slap barbecue sauce on.
I would not slap ranch.
I'm not disagreeing with that. But if I had to pick between the two, it'd be barbecue sauce.
You pick barbecue sauce. Okay. I mean, I'll concede. I'll give you that.
With ranch being a strong second, Ken's ranch being a strong second, I'll pay the extra $1.50 for it.
Would you slap ranch on a pork chop? On a barbecue pork chop? A barbecue pork chop.
A barbecue pork chop?
Would you slap ranch on a barbecue pork chop?
Is there barbecue sauce? Like, I need more context. Is it just like a dry rub barbecue, like a pork chop that's been, on the grill, or is it a barbecue?
That's why I'm not asking you this question.
I mean, when you say barbecue pork chop, like that could be two different things.
This is why I'm not asking you this question.
I mean, I wouldn't, but I also wouldn't slap barbecue sauce on a pizza.
Have you ever had barbecue pizza?
Barbecue chicken pizza.
Yes, right. And it's not my most favorite thing in the world. That's what I'm saying. I can get any kind of pizza. I can get a pepperoni pizza. I can get a cheese pizza. I can get any assortment of toppings and dip that shit in ranch. I can put my chicken wings in ranch. I can put my French fries in ranch.
You gonna put ranch on pizza?
My salad in ranch.
You gonna put ranch on pizza?
I typically don't. But
what
I'm
saying on the chain, honestly.
Yeah, and that
it really depends on the chain.
And that's why I feel like there's a high taste ceiling that you have with ranch. Like, I feel like people that get ranch good, I want to bathe in it. I want to die in it. I want it in my casket. But I also feel like, there's this floor where it's just like, again, mid-ass, poor ass.
Kraft ranch is mid.
Yes, like Kraft ranch. Like, honestly, I don't even like Hidden Valley like that, or Hidden Farms, whatever the fuck it is. I don't even like their ranch that much. I mean, I'll eat it. But like,
what is your go-to ranch?
You said what?
What is your go-to ranch?
I don't have. I have Hidden Valley in my fridge right now. I'm just thinking of let me think of the best venue.
If you don't have the best, I recommend you go to the grocery store and get a bottle of cans.
Okay, I'm gonna try it. I'm not a rancher. Like, I don't cook too much, so it's like me having ranch on hand. It's not.
Like I say, I have no issues with ranch, but like with barbecue sauce, for example, like, you can spice it up a lot more. Like, I got a bottle of Sweet Baby Ray's in my fridge that I poured pineapple juice in.
Oh, that's interesting.
And shook it up.
Okay.
You can do stuff like that. I'm not knocking ranch, because ranch is obviously
and I'm not knocking.
It's a strong number two, but I won't choose it over barbecue sauce most times.
So maybe not unpopular. Maybe not. Yeah. It is ranch being the best condiment. Unpopular.
Yeah, it is unpopular.
Oh, okay. I think of all the ketchup stands out there in the world.
I can't stand a fucking. Oh, we'll get to that. Sean, what you got?
Name for me one scenario where we're putting ranch on pizza.
Me?
I'm asking about you.
People put ranch on pizza all the time.
I'm not asking about people.
Me.
You and you.
Me. A situation.
The two of you.
Okay. On Friday nights, when I don't feel like cooking, Mel don't feel like cooking, or like today where it's 100 degrees outside, I order Domino's, meat lover, she orders a Domino's cheese. And once it gets here in 30 minutes, it's cooled down enough. And I would put a little ranch on my plate, but I wouldn't drizzle, cover it in ranch. But yeah, I only eat ranch with Domino's.
Disgusting. Next. We're screening here. This is
I'm just confused that I can order a pizza right now from Papa John's, bust some ranch out, and put it on it. Like, I'm just confused at what you're trying to get at with the question.
Yeah.
I've eaten ranch on pizza before.
I've
seen other people eat ranch on pizza.
I'm trying to determine whether the two closest people in my life right now are sociopaths. That's what I'm trying to determine. Because I don't know a sane person who puts some goddamn ranch on pizza.
Well, that's my argument. You could put ranch on whatever the fuck you want.
Right now. I can call 20 random people in my phone. Like, we can send 20 random. I can make a Facebook post right now and say who put ranch on their pizza, and I guarantee I'll get 30 likes on it.
Ranch is
I don't give a damn. They all sociopaths, and I'll come on there and say the same thing.
I think you're the sociopath for not
putting ranch on pizza.
Yeah.
Ranch is like the streetwalkers of condiments. It's salacious. It's dirty. She likes to have a good time. And she's out looking for food, like to be with. Like,
I've never heard ranch described that way, but you make ranch sound like a whore.
Well, that's exactly why I said streetwalker.
Yeah, streetwalker. Like, you know, right?
He's talking about a hooker.
Barbecue sauce, maybe more
You
so like
are
high class.
killing me,
You're
dog.
going, you know, you're outsourcing this.
You know, you want to say hi? Come on. We do this every week, same time. See, say hi to the people.
Scrappy.
See, look right there. No. Look right there. Right there. Look. Say hi.
Scrappy.
Right there. Right there.
Taking a dog intermission
His
very
eyes are
quickly.
like-
So anyway, right, the Louisiana Purchase. Nope, the Louisiana Purchase. It doubled the size of the U.S. Right. I'm talking to you. Now you're not interested. Okay, get out of here. He looked back at me and walked out, like on the movies. Anyway, let's move on because ranch.
All right.
What was the third? Watermelon.
And here's my beef with people that eat watermelon. Because otherwise I would let them live and I would say, you know, y'all do y'all, go get your melons, cut them up, put salt, sugar, whatever you want to put on them and eat them. But my issue is when I tell people I don't like watermelon, their first response is, you just haven't had good watermelon. You haven't had the right watermelon. The watermelons you were eating weren't sweet. And I'm like, over the course of my 25 years on this earth, I have tried a variety of different watermelons. And I don't think I have found one that has made me go, fuck, I want another slice.
Let me ask you a question. You lived in Florida for a minute, right?
15 years.
I find it hard to believe that you haven't come across a good watermelon yet.
I agree with that statement.
And that's what, so my point is that there probably is good watermelon. It's just not for me. I don't think it tastes like anything.
I'm agreeing with you. Like, I mean, you lived in Florida for 15 years. I highly doubt that you haven't come across a like, I've never had I don't like watermelon either. I just don't like the consistency of it. Like, I'll eat watermelon flavored things, but I just like eating a piece of actual watermelon. I can't. No, I won't do it.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
love watermelon.
it.
It gives me heartburn.
No.
I think you're allergic to citric acid, Sean.
I can eat
The more and
oranges
more I
like
think about
this
it, 'cause
no
you don't-
tomorrow.
Like pineapples, watermelon. What about lemons and lime?
No issue.
When was the last time you had an actual like whole lemon?
Never. Whole lemon.
Yeah,
Why the
no.
hell would I eat a whole lemon? What am I gonna do with a whole lemon?
When I hit my next lick, I'm gonna pay for Sean to get an allergy test done. So
Yeah, that may be the move.
because I've been recommending him do this forever.
I don't see the point. If I'm just gonna cut these things out of my life, why pay the money for the allergy?
Because knowledge is power. Knowledge is power.
The knowledge is the pineapple makes me feel like I'm having a heart attack. The power is I'm not gonna eat unless I feel like it.
Chicken wings are overrated. And
Yeah.
I agree, and I blame social media for it.
Okay. Yeah, it's like I get on any social media platform at any point in the day, and there's this ongoing war between people that like flats versus people that like drums. And I'm like, you guys are dedicating your time and energy to arguing for a chicken. And I just
Same piece of chicken. It's the same piece of chicken.
Just the meat is allocated differently across the bone. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Like any other wing you would have.
It would be different if we were talking about a conversation between like light meat and dark meat, but that's not what we're doing.
Yeah, no, we're talking about
It's totally different. Yeah.
Oh, I like the top part of the arm. I like the bottom part of the arm. Like I say envelop. Like I don't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't, but I also feel like the wings, like I don't like B-dubs, like Buffalo Wild Wings. Wingstop isn't that good to me. I think Zaxby's wings are good. I would say they're good, but it's like I don't ever wake up or I'm never sitting around like, damn, I want me a 10-piece wing right now.
Man, I found a mom and pop shop up here. There's like an indie chain.
Yeah.
And the chicken wings are like they sell whole wings, so drums or flats or whatever, you're getting the whole fucking wing. And they're decent. Like when I'm craving wings, that's where I go. But like B-dubs and Wingstop, they kind of fallen off over the past, I don't know, 3 years, 4 years.
Yeah. I think B-dubs is overpriced.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Wings aren't that good. And all the ones out here that I've been to, the service is shitty.
Absolutely. I agree.
I think people go to wing places and they just don't expect good service. So I think we've just allowed our ideal of good service to just go down when it comes to wing places. I have something I want to say to Wingstop though. So
what you got?
So Rick Ross, if you're listening, I want you to hear this. And for the Wingstop that's in Jacksonville, that's near me, I ordered y'all one day, and y'all gave me crumbs. Legit, gave me crumbs. Like if you took the chicken and like cut it up into small pieces and then fried it. That's what I got when I ordered wings from Wingstop.
You got nuggets?
No, it wasn't even nuggets. It was hard pieces of breading. Yeah, with like little to no chicken in it. Never seen anything like that before. I got my money back.
What Wingstop was it?
Whichever one DoorDash points me to when I order it.
Wingstop Riverside. Sean says, "Fuck you."
There's no Wingstop in Riverside.
Okay.
So you know what? Wingstop Riverside. Fuck you. Got it.
Okay. So
Wingstop Riverside.
I wouldn't write off wings completely, but the wings are overrated. Like I said, I blame social media because everybody's making, honey barbecue lemon pepper wings, and everybody has their own way of doing it. It's like, God damn, y'all, nobody's eating wings every day like this. Like,
yeah,
you don't have to drizzle all that shit on a good piece of chicken.
There is one place that I've ever been to that makes me actually want to go get those wings every time I think about wings. It's this little small place in Hammond, Louisiana. It's called Chef's Wings. They built it out of an old gas station, and you could tell because they still have like the places where the gas pumps were, but that's where you park. Chef's Wings has some of the best wings I've ever had in my life. Shout out Chef's Wings. I think I still had the number in my phone.
Shout out to Hillary because she makes the best wings I've ever had in my life.
I was about to say that. I feel like the homemade wings, like my mom, my grandma's made,
yeah,
times better than any wings I've had outside the house.
Yeah, wings are overrated. Like I said, I blame social media. We'll get to that.
Fantastic. I think my last one was mayo gets a lot of unsolicited hate. And as someone who grew up not liking mayo, I have found a new appreciation for it later in life. Simply because even if I'm not ordering a sandwich with mayo on it, we have to recognize mayo is the base for a lot of different condiments. It is the foundation for a lot of different condiments. And therefore, I just feel like it deserves respect.
Egg is too, but does a lot of things taste like egg? No. Just because mayo's in it doesn't mean that it's going to taste like mayo. And that's the problem.
But
mayo
they wouldn't
by
taste
itself
the same without mayo.
You know what irks me? When I order my sandwiches, for people who know how I order my sandwiches, a lot of times I don't really put much on my sandwiches except meat and cheese. Somebody will be like, "You don't want to put anything on your sandwich? Like mayo?" Why would I do that? Why would I do that? What is mayo going to add to my sandwich?
I feel like on beef, I'm not a big mayo fan, but like a good chicken sandwich, just light mayo. Here's the issue. Here's my real beef with the mayo community. You order mayo or you allow them to put mayo on your sandwich somewhere, and they take like a quarter of whatever tub of mayo they have and they slather it across your sandwich. And when you bite into this hot meat, the mayo is like enveloping every square inch of your mouth. That is
does that envelop?
But just the, because Lionel said it earlier, just a small amount of mayo. I just need it to tickle my taste buds. I don't need it to,
What does mayo taste like?
I don't know how to describe it. I mean, mayo is mayo. That's like asking to break down water. Okay, wait, no, it's not. That's just hydrogen and oxygen.
Correct.
It's like asking to break down hydrogen or something. Like that is the mayo tastes like mayo. I don't know what to tell you.
Well, there is no real breakdown of hydrogen. It's like
that's my point. Mayo is mayo.
There's no mayo plant. There has to be a combination of things that go into making mayo.
Well, I'm sure it's probably like egg or some sort of oil or something.
It's literally just egg and oil.
Egg and oil, yeah.
Egg
And I would
whites
make
and
this
oil.
egg or oil.
Egg whites and oil.
Whole egg.
Whole egg. Just whole egg and oil. I feel like there's got to be something a little bit more in there. I don't have a problem with eggs. I don't have a problem with oil. Put them together though. Apparently you get mayo, and not a big fan. I don't hate mayo, but I am not jazzing to ever have it. I'm never like, ooh, let me get some mayo on my sandwich. I don't even think I have mayo in my fridge. I have a ton of stuff in my fridge I don't eat. Mayo is not in there.
Fair. I wouldn't buy it either. I wouldn't waste my money. I feel like my dollar shouldn't go to support mayo. If they bundle the mayo into the price of my sandwich, sometimes I'm inclined to say, you know what, make it a light mayo situation and I get a sandwich.
Lionel, would you like to respond?
Are you gonna weigh in on?
Y'all know why I'm here. Y'all know how I feel. This team fucks mayo over here. Period.
What if Mel wanted to have mayo in like a squirt bottle? That way it's not in the...
It's the only way she can have it in the house.
Is there another way of distributing mayo to any kind of...
You can buy it in a jar and use like a butter.
Oh, like Miracle Whip type of vibe.
That's not allowed.
No, just in general.
Not allowed in my house.
Like, it's pretty gross.
Mel's mother-in-law screamed at me when they came to visit because she was like, you don't let her like buy stuff she likes to eat. And I was like, we literally do grocery shopping together. What are you talking about? Well, there's no mayo in the fridge. There's no ketchup in the fridge because neither of us eat it. There's no bread in it. I'm not a big bread person. Not a big of a bread person as I was like 5 years ago.
I wish
you mean like sandwiches?
That's about it.
Like you're not making a sandwich at home?
No.
Yeah.
I wish they would sell half loaves of bread.
They do.
But sliced in the same way.
They do.
For around the same price.
They do.
I've never seen it.
You have a Kroger in Jacksonville?
Do you have a what?
Kroger?
No.
Winn-Dixie, Publix, Aldi, Trader Joe's. I like sandwiches, but I can't eat the generic deli meat and cheese. Like when I go to Publix and I get their like fresh cut boar's head shit, I'll whip up sandwiches all week. But you can't catch me with the box lunch deli meat. I can't get down like that.
Walmart sells the half loaves of bread. It's Lewis Bake Shop.
It's what?
Lewis Bake Shop.
Is it 88 cents?
It's like $1.92.
See, I pay 88 cents for the full loaf.
Okay, so the issue isn't that they don't sell half loaves of bread. The issue is that you're fucking cheap.
Is that not what I said? I said I don't want to pay more for a half loaf of bread when I get a full loaf of bread for full, but I very rarely eat an entire loaf of bread.
Okay, so you're wasting 88 cents every time you buy a loaf of bread. So why not just pay the money and not waste it?
Because
you appreciate bread more because you pay more money for it.
And you'd be contributing to food preservation.
Yeah. And you wouldn't be a fucking cheap ass.
Or you could just take your extra bread out to the little beautiful park next to your house.
Feed the fucking ducks.
Feed the ducks. Feed the birds.
Don't feed the geese. Dude, I am terrified of
Don't
geese.
feed birds.
Terrified.
Don't feed birds. Birds don't need to eat bread.
So, yeah.
Not a treat. I don't feed animals people food. It's not my thing.
So Chunky doesn't get any table scraps?
He doesn't eat people food. Diante has seen this firsthand. He will sniff it and then he'll go away from it.
Chunky also has a weird relationship with food because Sean calls him slurs and he has to worry about his weight as a cat.
His name is Chunky. I mean, I don't know what you want from me. I mean, like...
Change his name. Call him like Reginald or some shit.
No.
Reginald.
I call him Reginald. I'm not calling him Reggie. Because then I'm gonna have to start calling him Fat Reggie, and I'm not doing that.
Jeez.
Yeah. Turn that on your ass.
Anyway.
Some
Sean, what you got? Popular, unpopular food opinion.
Popular, unpopular food opinion. I normally don't contribute to this because I don't really have a ton.
You're on the spot today.
I'm on the spot today. I didn't come in prepared.
You should have known this.
You should have a lot of unpopular food opinions. We played a food game with my family this past weekend in which we went down a list. If you didn't eat the food that was listed, you raised your hand or put up a finger to give yourself a point. I ended the game with 4 points. Sean ended the game 20 plus.
I ended the game with
There
20.
is food out there that you don't like.
There's a lot of food out there that I don't like.
So you should have some sort of unpopular opinion.
I feel like the things I don't like. I mean, my very boring unpopular food opinion is I don't really eat vegetables. That's just kind of
Sean.
I just don't.
Sean, we can tell by your skin on your face that you don't eat vegetables.
Why don't you take your hat off and show people what's a little bit under that hat? Show them what's going on, like right.
I'm a little wavy today. It's time for a haircut.
What's going on, like right here?
Oh,
right there.
The hairline.
Yeah, what's going on right there?
My hair grows weird. I get haircuts twice a week.
Yeah, hair grows weird. Nothing else happened there.
No.
Okay, that's what I figured. All right. Anyway,
yeah, I'm a little wavy on the top.
So out of vegetables that were mentioned, I eat eggplant, which I think eggplant's really good.
Yeah.
I eat cauliflower, and I eat, what was the other one that was mentioned?
I can't remember. I just remember all the ones that are.
I don't know anybody who eats cauliflower.
Well, what baffles me is that you will eat cauliflower, but you won't eat broccoli.
I will not eat broccoli.
Broccoli tastes 30 times better than cauliflower will ever.
Yeah, like broccoli. Cauliflower is like the older sister with 2 kids. Broccoli is
cauliflower is the rice cakes to Doritos. Like nobody's picking rice cakes over there.
I mean, you won't ever really see me eat cauliflower, but if you put both of them in front of me, I'll eat the cauliflower for the broccoli. And here's why. And I'm not really big on this ever. I'm not a big food texture person. I could typically get past anything. The texture of broccoli is gross. Broccoli is what made me not want to eat vegetables as a kid. The vegetables were put in front of me. I used to eat peas all the time. I used to eat carrots all the time. They put broccoli in front of me one time, and and I haven't been the same.
Broccoli is I just love when it's soft and it's steamed right, seasoned well. Just mix it into some rice or some mashed potatoes. I don't know. I'm a vegetable fan.
Like legit is actually making my stomach like turn. Broccoli is the worst.
I don't actually steam my broccoli. I boil it in garlic powder, onion powder.
Y'all about to make me order food because I can't be doing this. Y'all about to.
Have you not eaten today?
Funny enough, not really. I had zero appetite today. I ate 2 Hot Pockets. That's it.
Yeah, that sucks.
I don't know. I didn't eat. Dude, I blinked and the day was done. It was crazy. But yeah, so I guess my unpopular food opinion is I really don't eat any vegetables. I can count on one hand the vegetables I eat, which is like eggplant, corn, if you count it. Most people count corn as a starch, so whatever.
Starch isn't a food group. Is it?
I think it is.
Is it?
I think so.
What
you want to talk about that picture? You want to talk about that picture? He got that picture from me. So that is a picture of something you could order at Arby's. I want everybody to look at this. I want everybody on the podcast to look at this. Here's my unpopular opinion right now. Babe, can you move to the side slightly to get people? If you order this at Arby's, you're sick. You are sick. You need help.
I want people to really feel what I'm about to say in their chest, in their soul. There is no reason at any point during the 24-hour day you should not feel that you need to order 1 pound of roast beef with not a singular other fucking condiment, accoutrement. There is no compliment to the roast. It is a bun with a pound of roast beef in between. And you should feel ashamed that you're having somebody at that establishment put that shit together. It is disgusting. It is the craziest, most absurd thing I've seen. The fact that you can get that for $10.
$10.
You get a pound of roast beef. How do you eat that?
You could just go get a pound of roast beef and bread at the store for cheaper.
Even in my
Why?
When was the last time you ordered a pound of roast beef, Sean, at the deli?
A pound of roast beef at the deli? I haven't had it in a minute, but I still don't think it would be $10.
Yeah.
Okay, you got interesting meat prices up there. Interesting meat and bread prices.
You come out cheaper buying that sandwich and going to get a loaf of bread.
I'm the gayest person on this call, and I have never had that much meat in my mouth at once.
You know what? I was thinking that joke, and I was like, man, there's a lot of meat for y'all to have in your mouths. But I was like, bad taste. So I'm glad you did it.
I had to do it. I've never had that much meat in my mouth at a singular time. For better or for worse. But I mean,
you can't even push it down. There's no push down on that. You can't.
I'm just imagining roast beef juices.
What the fuck are you doing? Like
out of that as you try and smush it to bite size.
Oh, you must not have had Arby's roast beef in a minute. There ain't no juices coming out of that roast.
I have never had Arby's roast beef. I would like for everyone that's listening. I've never had Arby's roast beef. I think it is a deplorable option to order at a fast food establishment. You get a chicken sandwich. You go get fries. You get you some tater tots if you have poor fucking taste. You get yourself onion rings or a burger. What you don't go do is go through a drive-through and out of your adult mouth order a roast beef sandwich.
Okay. Time out for 1 second. Okay. Let's amend that by saying fast food. Like low quality
drive-through. Correct.
Drive-through. Well, now I can't even say drive-through because a lot of places do it, but like low quality, like manufactured roast beef. Because a good roast beef sandwich, one of my favorite things to eat in this world, and you found it when we went to Louisiana, is a Debris roast beef po' boy sandwich. That is one of the absolute best things to eat in the world. I will get that at a drive-through every time in Louisiana. That is an abomination. It looks like ham. That's my problem. If my roast beef looks like ham, I have a problem.
I don't know if you guys ever seen Black Mirror, but for some reason the sandwich reminds me of episode 1 of Black Mirror when the politician has to fuck a pig at the end of the episode. That is what the sandwich it brings to me a similar feeling in my gut. So for that reason, I will never eat a roast beef sandwich from a fast food restaurant.
Arby's is already extremely occasional.
We're not just blowing over the politician that had to fuck a pig. I don't know where you think we are currently. What?
Yeah, Black Mirror. I mean, we could dive into it a little later. I can give a little shameless TV show plug. But yeah, first episode of Black Mirror, a politician had to fuck a pig on national television. And he did.
What was the consequence if he didn't? He was going to die?
His kid was going to get killed or something like that.
Okay, close enough.
Yeah, so
Arby's is already occasional. Like, oh my God, there's nothing else to eat in this godforsaken place. Let me go to Arby's.
Okay.
Let me
go for another unpopular opinion.
You don't order a fucking... I don't know any situation where you order a fucking pound of meat, any type of meat on a sandwich.
Correct.
Yeah. I feel like it's a turnoff. I feel like when restaurants go, oh, get our, brand new half a pound of 100% juicy Angus beef, It's gonna squirt in your mouth when you eat it. Like that doesn't appeal to me.
Stunt food.
Show me a
say, what's that word, Lionel? Stunt
Stunt
food.
food.
Stunt?
Food.
Stunt.
food.
STUNT. Stunt food.
What does that mean?
It's a phrase we have
It's
on this
just-
podcast.
It's food that just makes you go, ooh, that looks good. Like for example, you see somebody on TikTok making like they make a bed of French fries and then they put like chicken tenders on it and then they just power mac and cheese on it and then they put like 30 fucking sauces on it and everybody's like yummy in the comments. Like that's bullshit. That's
See, I feel like I'm conditioned different because I imagine myself, I'm like, yeah, it looks like okay, like I would take a bite. What am I doing 45 minutes after eating that?
Exactly.
What is the situation?
That's the
45 minutes
no
after?
one is eating that. That's the whole thing with stunt food. Stunt food is food that's used for the visual of it as opposed to the eating.
Just like
Which is
on
fucking
TikTok,
waste.
General Ock, you know, when they go in the store and they order like a roast beef with fucking Pop Tarts and hot Cheetos the Aki way.
Excuse me?
No.
You guys have never seen a General Ock video on
Yes.
Okay.
Never heard of that.
Pause the recording. So yeah, stunt food. That's
So we all just watched the TikTok of this guy who went through and made a stunt food just to put everybody on the same page
With
of stunt
mozzarella
food at
sticks.
this point.
Jamaican beef patties for bread, voodoo chips, bacon.
Now look,
meat.
them Zap chips are good though.
yeah, not on a sandwich.
The Zaps.
Oh yeah, no, I agree. I think everything in that is probably good, independently of one another.
Yeah.
Even
at the place next to your house, Sean, Kickbacks, they have the Krispy Kreme burger.
Listen.
I just
Never in my life would I order that. Never.
I love a good Krispy Kreme, and I love hamburgers, but no.
Plugging another unpopular opinion. Donuts are ass, not mid, but ass. I think donuts are a poor. I don't know if you want to consider it a breakfast choice, a dessert choice. I think that they're ass, regardless what category they fall in.
Where do you typically get your donuts from? I'm going to start that in general.
I've had Krispy Kreme Dunkin' Donuts. I've also had the donut shop in Arlington. Those are pretty good. Here's what I will say. The specialty donut shops, the little sandwich shops, the podunk, hole-in-the-wall places that you find, there's a lot of them in Texas. There's a lot of them here in Jacksonville. You know, only open from 5 a.m. to 12. They make decent donuts.
Mm-hmm.
There's never going to be an instance, though, in which I'm going to say I want a donut over other breakfast food. There's never going to be an instance where I want a donut over any other food I can eat in the moment.
If I got all the breakfast food at my disposal, like I can have any breakfast food I want over a donut, I'm picking the breakfast food too.
Yeah, I'm not gonna eat a donut.
And also, don't ever put Krispy Kreme and Dunkin' in the same category ever.
That was gonna be my point. Is that if you frequent Dunkin' and you say, "Oh, I don't like donuts," but then I see you going to Dunkin' and trying to order them stupid ass donuts, I have nothing.
No, yeah, Dunkin's ass. Krispy Kreme
ass donuts.
Yeah.
Donuts.
Now Krispy Kreme, they're better. I get aggravated with Krispy Kreme though. I'm gonna tell you, the best donut I ever had was made out of potatoes.
Oh, like a potato latke donut. Yes.
It was a potato donut, and that thing was phenomenal.
Yeah.
Phenomenal. Best donut I've ever had. Still to this day.
I had in New York City.
I bet.
At a bodega. Dude charged me $6 for it. I bought
bodega food is unmatched. Shout out to the bodegas.
Grew up in the South my whole life.
We're gonna take you to
never been north of Philadelphia. So
damn, what's the farthest north you've been, Diante, in the United States?
New York.
Maine.
Wow.
I almost traveled to Vermont because I almost went to college in Vermont, but
Maine is still farther north. Well, no, you want to argue at that point. Never mind.
I mean, I know. I'm just throwing out there. Like I had an opportunity.
It was the weirdest place.
I hear that about Maine a lot. The Maine is a strange place. I remember you going and having a lot to say.
It was fucking weird.
I remember that.
So here we go.
Hold on, wait. I have one more unpopular opinion that I want to get off my chest.
Okay.
I see this happen regularly, and I just want to say, Arby's is not as bad as anybody makes it out to be. It truly isn't. There's nothing I've had at Arby's that I would say is worse than anything I've had at McDonald's.
So do you feel like people just have the wrong idea? Because I am imagining in my head an Arby's, a McDonald's, Trump's Chicken, a Taco Bell, maybe a Zaxby's all in a row. Mm-hmm. And Arby's is forever going to be the one line that nobody is in.
That's not true. In fact, when I lived in Arlington, that Arby's in Arlington was always packed, always. And on that road, on Merrill, there's a McDonald's, there's a Taco Bell, there's a Dairy Queen, there's a Pizza Hut, there's a Domino's, there's a Papa John's.
There's Dairy Queen in the same category as everybody else.
I'm just saying all the stuff that's there. You got mom and pop shops there. You got restaurants further down. You got all kinds of stuff. And that Arby's was always damn near to the street.
I'm not saying that Arby's is like trash, but every time I eat Arby's, like it throws my blood sugar out of whack for like days. Like it does this all day.
Arby's Ranch plus a curly fry, unmatched, unfucking match. Arby's got some good ass fucking ranch.
The curly fries, I don't think are that good.
Oh, I love. Now they don't beat Jack in the Box. They don't beat Jack in the Box. But you know they contest a little bit. I would say
their crinkle cut, Arby's crinkle cut fries, I think are a lot better. I'm glad they started selling those. So
they put some crinkle cut fries in my little curly fry box the other day, and I had them, and I was like, no.
Here, my unpopular opinion is more of like a question. Really to the Black community. Why can't y'all let R. Kelly go? Like,
Sean, that's how I feel about this one.
Like,
okay, we're going here. Okay.
It's like this. This is like just like two seconds, all right? Like, if you want to listen to his music, fine, whatever. I don't care, right? But to overlook all of this stuff that he's done just so you can justify, well, he didn't do it to me. Okay. You know, just to like overlook all of this stuff to be like, well, that's R. Kelly. Well, that's Robert. We listen to R. Kelly. Like, I've heard literally like a dozen explanations on how they like you separate the person from the music. And I get like sometimes like artists do jacked up stuff, but we're talking about children here. And the man is
children. We're talking about magnitude because there are multiple, multiple victims. We're talking about over the span of such a long time.
Hey.
We're talking about the fact that it was boldly embedded in this man's music.
We're talking about the fact that people knew about it and he still did not stop.
So, and to all of the listeners who are going to side with R. Kelly, let me ask you this question, and this comes from Hillary, right? Let's pick a random town that nobody lives in. Let's say all of us lived in Nashville, right? Nashville, Tennessee. We live in a nice neighborhood in Nashville, Tennessee.
The biggest town in Tennessee.
Right. You guys got a kid, I got a kid, and the dude down the street can sing really well. And he comes up to you, Sean, and goes, hey, I can sing really well. And your kid can sing really well too. Why don't you let me give him free lessons?
Not supervised, absolutely.
Right, just send him over to my house and I'll give him free lessons.
Not
you send your kid?
Well, first off, I'm tell this dude, hey, why don't you get away from my fucking door? Because I don't know why you like just walking up to me randomly talking about this. But number two, if you really feel that passionately about it, I'll be there. I'll watch.
Right.
But you ain't going.
And people are saying like, well, you need to charge the parents too. I agree that, you know, the parents have some fault, but R. Kelly clearly used his influence to get those parents to do, like I said, he was some random dude down the street, you know, yeah, no, I'm not sending my kid, but R. Kelly was like, hey, yeah, then you guys send, like, that's the same thing.
I think it's a slippery slope. I think if you have hard evidence that an adult was complicit in their child being abused in any capacity by somebody else that is also an adult, I think they should be held accountable for that. However, trying to pin what a parent allowed, what a parent didn't allow after so many years, on top of the fact that this man, I mean, it's a power imbalance. Like you said, he had authority because he had money, he had status, you know, he had a reputation. You could even go as far to say people probably naturally trusted him because of the icon that he was within the Black community. And to answer your question from earlier, like when I think about it, I think within the Black community, a lot of the foundational experiences that Black people have growing up is that what happens in your house doesn't leave your house. What happens in your family doesn't leave your family.
Absolutely.
So, you know, when abuse happens and when in these instances where somebody is taken advantage of, you know, that's not something you're going to the police about. So I definitely think parents knew and stuff like that, but they're not talking to anyone about that. I think it's been ingrained and embedded in our culture that, you know, you just kind of suck it up. And people looked to R. Kelly like he was family, you know.
There's also allegations of R. Kelly like legally preventing the parents from being able to see the children, and allegations of, because here's also another question. Person comes to you and says, hey, I want to tutor your child in music lessons. You say no, and then that person turns around and goes, well, what if I sleep with you? That's a red flag. That's a major red flag. But he was also doing that too. And then, you know, that was that. So, I mean, there's a lot of things that were happening that a lot of parents started fighting back. Parents were fighting for like 10 years to be able to get back to their children. Like, and the law doesn't protect anybody over the age of 18 when it comes to that kind of stuff too. So keep that in mind too.
I said it last week and I will say it again. And this is to the Black community. Black community will shun like somebody in the family for not being straight, but let the pedophile uncle sit at the table. That ain't how that works.
Yeah. And I think for me, at least on one side of my family, I think I was able to rationalize, because I mean, what happens when you grow up in these type of communities and you know, hear your parents using slurs to describe people that are gay, or family members saying it, or just like any kind of conversation and nuances that are describing people that aren't like the rest of them. You know, you grow up with fear and almost this like non-acknowledgement of what, you know, you really are, what your identity is. And I feel like at one point, and I turned 18 and I flipped this switch and I realized, I'm like, all of these people are extremely fucked up and they have, you know, demons in their own closet. So why the hell should I be scared of what I am or who I am?
Absolutely.
You know, like my seat at the table is probably the most polished compared to you guys. Like, and I mean, that's what I had. And that's kind of how, and I don't know if that's the best way to do it. And I'm not recommending people do that, but that's what worked for me. So for all my uncles that talk shit about me being gay, fuck you. Stop cheating on your wife.
Tell them to square up.
Square, pull up.
So somebody give an unpopular music opinion that's a little bit lighter than the one I just dropped.
Well, before we exit the R. Kelly conversation, I right before we hopped on, I was reading was Shade Room or TMZ, so I don't know how I feel like TMZ is pretty credible. Shade Room not so much, but apparently he escaped from his jail cell. They checked on him this morning. They didn't see him. The prison guards didn't think anything of it. They came back later, or this is yesterday. They came back later, and he went through some sort of underground tunnel situation. Again, I have not confirmed the validity of these statements, but I did read that prior to coming on the call.
We'll have to look into that.
Yeah.
All right, Sean, you up?
A popular music opinion?
I know you got one. Let's hear it. Today, if you wouldn't mind.
Disco music was the shit. Like 60s, 70s, or almost like early 80s disco, fantastic. And does not get the musical credit it deserves. Because without disco, we wouldn't have half of the music we have currently. Long outros and intros on rock songs, disco. Tracks where we're not so focused on the meaning of what's being said, but we're focused on like the beat and the musical qualities of it, and we're putting more effort into the production than like the lyrical content of the song. Disco. And I think people hate on disco for being this like, like this like older type of music that's completely outdated, but in reality, there's a lot of disco elements that exist in music today.
I think it's feel good music. I think the disco you played, I've enjoyed.
I'm gonna give you that, Sean. Yeah. I'm gonna give you that.
I can't see how you could hate it.
I was trying to find a disco song that I hated, and I can't.
There's really not any. Like you could play just disco music in the background. Now I have run one disco song into the ground for Diante. He cannot listen to that song anymore. And that's my fault, but it is what it is. That is
it's a variety, Sean.
That is disputing.
I'll tell you one song I know Mel is tired of hearing that I play all the fucking time.
Are you gonna play it right now?
No, I'm not gonna play it right now. I'm gonna tell you it's George Michael. That's about it.
Is it Careless Whisper?
It is Careless Whisper.
I love Careless Whisper.
I love that song.
I
love
know
the damn song.
Yeah.
Love the damn song.
So you want to know what I think the worst? Like, I'm sorry, Diante, we're skipping you. Did you have one?
I didn't really have one. I don't know if this is an unpopular opinion. I'm just gonna make a declaration. I want people to stop recommending Chris Brown to me to listen to. I don't care to listen to his music. I don't care about your opinion on his music. His dancing prowess, I don't care to hear about. He could tap dance across the stage and fall and break his neck, and I would be okay with that occurring. Don't recommend me Chris Brown's music.
Granted, I only listen to one Chris Brown song, and I don't even listen to it for him. I listen to it for the second verse and the third verse. I feel like you could play 100 Chris Brown songs and they all sound very similar. Now, I'm gonna give Chris Brown his OG albums. I think they did something for me at the age of 9. If I were to re-listen to them as a 25-year-old man. So
I don't know where we were, but
snap music. I'm trying to hear more. I'm interested.
So hang on. Where are you, dog? Oh, he's right behind my chair. No, I can't move. Snap music.
Snap music.
I think was the best music of the 2000s. And I mean, everything from the music to the fashion that went with the music.
Okay.
Do you think it's possible you could just be nostalgic about it?
No.
You sure?
Yes.
How often are you listening to Laffy Taffy in your car?
Laffy Taffy, not often. Snap music, quite often.
Just driving in your car, listening to Crank That by Soulja Boy.
There are more than one.
I mean, I've named 2. So I mean,
well, they're like 100.
I'm getting there. You just drive and listen in the chingy. That's what we do.
Chingy is not snap music.
I
literally just gave you the
Lionel,
definition of snap music 5 minutes ago. There's no way you're gonna tell me who's snap music and who's not.
You create these trap doors on the ground for yourself, and you walk over them until
No, I'm just. It's my opinion.
And the trap door has spray painted on the front of it. Extreme opinion. That is an extreme. The best music to come out of the 2000s.
Okay, let's rephrase. I grew up in the South.
Okay. I don't think he understands what an unpopular opinion is, because we do this every week.
I wish you fucking let me talk for like 2 seconds.
This is unpopular, I would say, but go for
every
it.
week.
Snap music, right? You had the airbrush shirts, the long ass white tees, the what were the shoes, the Nike shoes that came out that had all the different colors?
What are the Dunks?
No. Soulja Boy said it in one of his songs. Fuck. Baby notes?
Oh yeah.
The sunglasses with the
Kanye West glasses. With
yeah.
Yeah.
The armbands and the wristbands, which was kind of Nelly's thing, but kind of transitioned over. And every song having snaps in them, man. It was just. It was pretty good.
Here's my opinion, and this is a conversation I have with Sean a lot, because sometimes Sean he don't be listening to what I'm saying. Those songs and the culture that followed behind it, I think, was iconic for the culture. But to come out and say this was the best of that period, I think is a stretch, because I think there's really good music that came out. There's really good music that came out that wasn't snap music.
Okay, I agree.
Had substance and meaning, and I think that is just as impactful to the culture. But yeah, no, I mean, snap music culture. The people you mentioned, I think iconic, and I think that impact is forever lasting. But to Sean's point, I mean, when am I getting in the car listening to Laugh Taffy? Now, Yin Yang Twins, I think they have some snap songs. Am I playing those in the car? No. But am I playing Whistle While You Twerk? Maybe once a week in the car.
You know what? Time out. We'll get back to Whistle While You Twerk has to be the dumbest request a rapper has requested in a song.
To whistle while you twerk?
Because think about it, right? Right? You're like, let's go back to 2005, right? You're in the club, right? And this song goes on, and there are women whistling and twerking at the same time.
Do you understand the reference of whistle while you twerk?
What's the reference, Sean?
I'm asking, do you understand the reference of whistle while you twerk?
Let's say, for the sake of argument, no.
I'm asking, do you know it?
For the sake of the argument, let's say no, Sean.
You're saying for the sake of the argument, do you actually know it? Because if so, I'm just going to shut up.
You tell me what you think the meaning is, Sean.
The meaning comes from, I don't know what Disney movie it is. I'm pretty sure it's Snow White. But they had a song in there called Whistle While You Work. And that was the exact same tune.
I understand that.
To play on those words.
But the request wasn't whistle while you work. It was whistle while you twerk.
I'm aware. I'm just saying.
It may have sampled Disney, but it's still a very, very strange request.
It is,
but to do while she's dancing.
But it's not as strange as coming out of nowhere, being like, "Hey, whistle while you twerk." Like, at least there's some kind of reference here.
He's telling her, "Have fun with it. We're at the club." Like when you whistle when you work and you're just in a good mood, your head's bobbing, you're whistling. He's telling her, throw that ass and have fun with it. Be excited.
Get all of that. It's just strange. It's like, honestly, you're at a party and girls are twerking. You hear it go, yeah, whistle while you do it. What? Get the fuck out of here.
I've heard weird requests.
That was strange.
Look, I had the pleasure of having of having the ox at a party a couple of weekends ago for some of my mom's friends. You know, they're older, like mid 30s to mid 40s, and I played Whistle While You Twerk at one point, and I have never seen so many women arise from their seat at one point. A lot of ass shaking commenced for sure. So yeah, I mean, it's just a cult classic. Like I had to do it. I had to do it to them. People screamed when it came on, and it really filled me with joy because
I get it. It's a great song. I'm not saying that the song ain't great. I'm just saying that was a very weird request.
Yeah.
Very weird. Excuse me. It's a donut burp. So yeah. I forgot where we were.
Snap music. And your quickly debunked opinion.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So snap music. Great stuff. From the fashion to the music to the, you know, listen, we almost had, like we chose Harlem Nights, but in second place, well, in third place was just a costume party, but second place was 2000s party.
Look, I'm gonna call it. I'm just gonna say this. The music's great, and I'll give you that. The fashion is a whole other conversation. It's a whole other conversation.
You just had to be there.
It's a whole other conversation.
You had to be there, buddy.
It ain't because and let me explain to you why I know that this is the case. Because 2000s fashion is starting to come back. You could see it looking around, and it's not good. It's not good.
If they bring back extra long white tees, Sean, I'm gonna be rocking them with the armbands and the headband.
Soulja Boy was wearing a shirt that you would wear right now in that music.
I don't wear extra long shirts.
The thing is that shirt that he was wearing in the Crank That video, that wasn't an extra long shirt. That was just a really, really, really big fucking shirt. And he's a really, really small person.
But if they bring that back, then that means they'll start making them that big for me in my size.
And I think I think that's fantastic for you. However, I don't want to see a bunch of people running around in oversized t-shirts. That's just
not just oversized t-shirts, Sean.
I mean, that's the main thing you're leaning on.
Mostly.
Okay. But, I mostly don't want to see
the denim shorts, below the knee.
Now, denim shorts I could do. I don't know about
way below the knee.
Almost at the ankle. The big back denim short at the ankle. Yes.
They were short pants. Really short pants.
Just gonna wear pants at that point.
The Air Force Ones. The baby nades.
The Air Force Ones have already made
I fuck with Air Force. I wear Air Force Ones till I die. A new pair of all white Air Forces can't beat it.
All good.
Air Force Ones never left. Ever.
Yeah. Okay.
But yeah, man. Listen, you fuck around and you let them bring that snap culture, like the clothing, back.
Lionel, somebody has to be the trendsetter. Why don't you just set it off for us?
No. See,
set it off, Lionel.
Because you know what would happen.
No, because I'm gonna explain to you why I don't think that I should be the one to do it. Because if it starts back up, it needs to start back up in the South. It'll catch back on in the South a lot faster. And anything that catches on in the South, you know what happens?
What happens? What happens?
Eventually it'll go nationwide.
Everything in the South just goes nationwide?
I think in terms of music, and I would say hip hop culture, I think the South tends to be a pinnacle and kind of a pioneer for sound.
You want to have a hip hop culture conversation? I'll bow out of that one. But we could eliminate the entirety of the South, and I would be just fine.
Yeah, absolutely. As it pertains to hip hop and rap culture, I think the South is a pioneer. I remember distinctly, it was crazy when I was younger. I would travel to and from Texas, from Florida. Another unpopular opinion. Florida, geographically the South. Culturally, I'm iffy.
That's not unpopular. That's fact.
Yeah, that's fact.
That's just.
We've already excluded Florida as not being the South.
Do I think Florida has Southern culture embedded in it? So I think it's South Georgia. Absolutely. I think North Florida and South Georgia are interchangeable. But when
Orlando
I think
South.
Orlando's out the South.
I said South of Orlando.
Oh yeah, no. The Central and South Florida, completely different vibe than the South.
I lived in South Georgia and North Florida. At least Jacksonville, I'll say. Night and day. They are not the same. You're talking very, very
Jacksonville's
different.
Also a big, I'm talking about.
You talk about like Callahan, you want to talk about like those areas.
Correct, right. So when you think about
I'll give you that.
The surrounding satellite cities to Jacksonville's a big city. So naturally, it's going to be a little bit more diverse and culture's going to be a little different here. But if you take away Jacksonville from North Florida, I mean, what is there that's left?
Tallahassee.
Tallahassee and Tampa, that's it.
Tampa's not north.
Tampa's not north.
Tampa's like in the general. No. Where am I thinking of?
You think of Tallahassee, Pensacola. Even Pensacola's really more west.
That's somewhere else I'm thinking of that I know somebody who's over there. That's not the point. It doesn't matter.
Where was I going with that? When I was younger and I would travel to Houston to spend time with my mom's side of the family during the summertime. And I remember stuff that was on the radio in Texas, it took months to hear that same shit on the radio when I came back to Florida. Like I got put on every summer, I would get put onto these artists that my family were listening to and shit like that. And I just remember being so excited. And I would come back with all this new music that nobody knew in Florida. And then the school year starts, months go on, and then people are catching on. Like Wiz Khalifa was one of them. Drake was one of them. Like I just feel like the real South really adopts all of that quicker. I don't know.
So
everyone else catches on.
Used to bring new music back to all of your friends.
Oh my God, yeah.
Like, who is that? And then it'd catch on. And then like, oh my God, I'm in love with this artist.
Back when they used to call Drake Drizzy Drake, I'm talking about what's his first album called?
0809.
Yeah, like when he dropped, when Successful was like first came out.
Listen, I don't think Drake has topped Successful. Like that is, hey babe, what's up? Ooh, nice.
But the salary is much lower.
Well, we'll talk about it. Sorry, when the wife comes in, everything stops. I love that woman. I forgot what I was talking about.
Drake, nobody.
So yeah, like don't get me wrong, Drake. Listen, ain't nobody arguing that Drake ain't got bops, right? But like, if there's one song that you can play on repeat by Drake, and I'd be just like, let that shit ride. It's Successful.
Successful would be top 10, but not top 5 or top 3.
And then Laugh Now, Cry Later. I don't know why I like that song, but I fucking do. I just don't know why.
Yeah, I mean, I tend to have a more unpopular opinion on Drake's best album.
What do you think it is?
Nothing Was the Same.
Ooh.
I think a lot of people say.
You know what? I agree with you. I agree with you.
I mean, Nothing Was the Same to me. There's not a singular song on there that I would really skip. Like I can listen to Nothing Was the Same, and I like the vibe from start to finish. It's what it needs to do.
Sean, do you disagree with that?
Yeah, we've had conversations about this. I think it's
what is your favorite Drake album?
Well, I don't really have a favorite Drake album.
If you had to pick one, what would it be?
It would be Take Care. It would be Take Care.
I think Take Care's up there.
I can live with that.
Yeah, I respect the Take Care opinion.
Yeah.
I think Nothing Was the Same was really personal to me at a time, and it's just something that I really, I have a strong bias for Nothing Was the Same. So,
All Me is my favorite song off of that album. Just for no reason other than the beat drop and then 2 Chainz coming in. Like
2 Chainz verse went hard.
That's it.
I care not to listen to that song again before I die. But I mean, yeah, I appreciate 2 Chainz' verse.
2 Chainz ain't getting the
But wait, you said there's no skips. So if it came on, you wouldn't
Okay,
skip it?
excuse me. All Me was a radio bop. So I'm talking more so about deep cut stuff that didn't really make the radio. That's the shit that I like. I mean, when I think about Paris Morton music, Pound Cake, Wu-Tang Forever, his song with Sampha, like those are the ones that hit me. I mean, All Me, I do like it, but that was a radio hit. That comes on all the time. I heard that all the time. Like, you know, I don't need to run that one into the ground. Don't narrow your fucking eyes at me.
But would you skip it? If it came on, would you skip it?
For the sake of me, yes. But is the
y'all
song
with this for the sake of the argument, for the sake of it ain't that
if
hard.
the radio wouldn't have ran On Me into the ground, I would not have to skip it. Yes.
So then the album does have a skip.
Because of the radio, not because of Drake.
It doesn't matter it doesn't matter the reason. Does the album have a skip? Yes or no?
Would you say Humble by Kendrick Lamar is a bad song?
No.
Okay. I agree with that statement. But I would not play Humble in my car because of how much I heard it in other mediums and avenues. But I do appreciate the song.
I gotta disagree with you on that one. Because I remember syrup sandwiches. And you know.
It's just like one of those things where it's like the song, not only the radio, I mean, you hear it on Vines, you hear it on people doing covers. Like I became over inundated with the song. I didn't need it. I don't need to listen to it anymore. It's etched in my head. I hear it. I can hear All Me in my head right now.
So do you count it as a skip on the album?
I already answered your question. I said yes.
Okay.
So he amended his original take that says, yeah, okay, that one because you heard it so much.
Well, Sean sees everything in black and white. I mean, I don't know. I can't help that. That's something he has to work through himself.
I agree.
I provided a great analogy for him. I mean, I don't know what else. The Drake songs that he likes are fucking radio bops too. So, I mean, I'm not surprised that he has this opinion.
So I'm going to go ahead and go back to like the first episode when we were talking about Drake's album and the song, was it Girls Like Girls? Like, I went back and listened, and Sean, I honestly believe that that's like actually the only song that I like on that album. I know,
okay.
like, but this is me.
Keep in mind that song is trash because of that line. Like that will always forever be my take on it.
The line is dumb. Okay. But as far as like listening to the album,
it's like it's like when Gunna said, bought my baby a Birkin, fucked her good, got her legs hurting.
I love
that is
a fantastic.
I can't listen to that song anymore because that's not how the English language works. You can't do that. You can't do that.
Sean needs story time when he listens to rap music. He gets in the car, puts on rap music. We have to go through a fucking story. I have to hear about, you know, the schemes have to be perfect. Like he needs all these pictures painted. When tell
me where Playboy Carti has story time in his music.
I'm not the biggest Playboy Carti fan either, so I wasn't even touching that aspect of
However, do I listen to Playboy Carti?
You listen to Playboy Carti.
Fantastic. I don't need story time in all my music.
Sean talks shit about Gunna saying stuff like that, and puts on a Playboy Carti song when none of his words are inaudible. You have no idea what he's saying.
But at least he does this with his voice. Gunna's just here, like Nav.
You know what I'm saying? So if I
here.
Get in the car and feel like a rich bitch who got a baby Birkin paid for me by this rapper, man, that's what I'm gonna do. Sean wants to hear the little demon man with the colored hair yell on his song and make weird sounds. That is for Sean to do. Who are you to make a comment on that?
I'll give you one that me and Sean can at least agree on. The worst rapper of 2022 is Miles.
I don't know who the fuck that is.
That story. He quit his job at Taco Bell to become a rapper.
Naturally.
She needs to go back and work at Taco Bell.
It's like, I'm gonna read you the lyrics to his song. Like, I'm not gonna lie, like it ain't in my playlist. Because it is. Because it's stupid and it's catchy. But his quote unquote hit song is Put the Money in the Bag. Right? Already too long of an entrance. Here we go. The lyrics are put the money in the bag. Oops, I just got a bag. This the sound of a bag. I'm on Snapchat. I'm getting money. I get racks just like a crab. Came from the bottom. Now I'm at the top. This is the sound of a robot. And then he actually like emulates what he thinks a robot sounds like.
I'm confident you stating that man's name approximately 2 minutes ago will be the first and last time I ever hear that name. So thank you, Lionel.
Okay.
I mean, I'm just based on the lyrics alone. Like, what are we saying here? What the fuck are we saying?
That is the worst rapper I've ever heard.
Okay.
Sean can agree with me on that, right?
Well, I would put Ice JJ Fish as probably the worst rapper I've ever heard.
Ice JJ Fish is the worst singer I've ever heard.
Ice JJ Fish wasn't rapping. He was singing.
No, he was singing.
Oh shit! That gives a whole other meaning to this conversation. Okay, yeah, all right.
Yeah,
I thought Ice JJ Fish was a rapper.
So what are some albums y'all looking forward to? Because I am not looking forward to any.
I think a lot of the projects that I'm looking forward to at the moment, I don't know if they would fall into the rap category. Like, I'm looking for another Frank Ocean album. I'm really excited for SZA's next project.
Y'all keep talking. I'm gonna be right back.
Rihanna. I can always use a Future project personally. I mean, I know he just kind of dropped. Future says he records 250 songs in a night. I mean, I'm trying to hear the unreleased. Like, drop the unreleased for me. I love Future. What else am I looking for a project from?
What was your favorite Future album? I'm curious.
DS2. DS2, I can't speak enough about that album. Revolutionary. I mean, I'm a Future. I'm in the top 0.5% of Future listeners on Spotify. I get the accolade every year. The number continues to shrink. I'm sure at the end of this year I'll probably be at 0.1%. In saying that, Dirty Sprite 2, again, from start to finish, there is not a singular skip. The shit he spit in, the beats, the production, I mean, the cover art, it magnificent. Magnificent.
I'm gonna go astronaut status.
Okay. Older Future. I mean, I've listened a couple of times. I wouldn't say it's my favorite.
I like Monster. Can do wrong.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, Pharrell produced a song with Future, and he had Pharrell talking like he was a dope dealer, and we all know Pharrell ain't no dope dealer.
That's what when I listen to Future, that's what I feel like.
You feel like a drug dealer?
Yeah, like drug dealer, money, dangerous, drinking, eating.
And here's where I'm gonna go, since Diante wants to go. Oh, I need story time in my rap. Diante needs to feel like the rapper in his rap. Like he has to, like, if he's listening to Rick Ross, he has to feel rich. If he's listening to Future, he's got to feel like he's doing drugs. Like, that has to be the requirement.
Sean, like J. Cole, for instance. I have a great respect and appreciation for J. Cole. He got a lot of play time a couple years ago. J. Cole has songs where he talks about alcoholism in the Black community and drug use. I lived through that. I did that. Why do I need to get in the car and listen to it? I'm trying to get in my whip. I'm trying to feel like I'm in, a wraith. I want stars on the ceiling. I'm trying to feel like I'm going down the street to hit a fucking lick when I get in my shit. Like, I'm not trying to feel basic in my everyday life. No, I don't want that. If somebody started spitting about how they work in corporate America, some shit, I would denounce the rapper. I would say bury his fucking music before it gets viral, because nobody wants to hear that shit. I want to feel like I'm really out there doing some shit.
Can I ask you a question? What?
Damn, those are some strong words there.
What who brought J. Cole into this? Why'd you bring J. Cole into this?
Yeah, we all know
I'm
J.
just
Cole.
thinking of songs like '03 Adolescence, like Kevin's Heart, We Have Cheating. What's the song, the other cheating song he has? Run away, run away. Like, I like it, but there's not a point where I'm, oh shit, let me play '03 Adolescence. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm just not there. I'm not there, you know?
I mean,
I'm
I'm not either.
Turn on Perfect Set and Stripper Joint by Future. Like, come on now, you feel me? Turn on I Serve the Bass. Turn on Group Home. Like, I'm trying to. That's just me personally. My mom always laughs.
Look at corporate America when he's listening to music. He wants to do.
Exactly.
Legit, every movie we've gone to, every like new music we've introduced, every new video game. When I introduced him to the wrestling thing, he's like, I want to be a wrestler now. Like everything, Diante immerses himself, and I love this. He immerses himself fully in whatever he's doing, and he puts that out there. When we left Top Gun, he was like, I'm gonna go be a pilot. I said, no, you're not.
I'm just not a spectator kind of personality.
He's not a
spectator personality. I'm the main attraction. You want a fucking good wrestling match? Train me and put me in the ring 6 months after training. I can give you the best fucking wrestling match of your fucking life. Like, that's how I be feeling.
6 months now.
If I had rhythm, I would rap. If I could really catch a beat, I would rap. But I feel like I could write some real fire shit. I would be somebody's ghostwriter.
He has spit some bars before that I'm like, okay, that's solid. That's solid.
Speaking of bars, Sean, it's been what, 10 weeks? Nobody has gave us a bar.
Yeah, no, yeah. I was like, what the hell? Yeah, no. Because I mean, I think it's just universally like there's nothing you can pull that's going to
you want to know
prove the
like,
point.
Outside of Kanye West, where'd he go?
Right here.
My favorite verse of the 2000s that's not Kanye West is DMX.
What verse?
Have you heard the song he made with Cisco?
No.
I have not. Maybe. Let me look it up.
You guys haven't? Okay. I'm gonna save this one for next week. Okay, because yeah. Moving on. I'm gonna save that one.
Okay.
Because I want you to hear the verse.
Oh yeah, there was Brenda, Letitia, Linda, Felicia, Dawn, yeah, Alicia, yeah.
That's my favorite verse of the 2000s.
That when he starts name dropping them, I mean, that's when I talk about iconic. When I talk about shit that is timeless. What DMX, timeless. It surfaced on TikTok like 6 months ago. Like, come on.
I'm gonna send you the link, Sean. Like, you can hear the song. Like, when you hear it, you'll be like, okay, I see. That was pretty dope.
Hard.
So let's move on to pop culture.
Pop culture, we just want opinions. We want to talk.
What you want?
Give me mic. To all you TikTokers out there, stop fucking up the good songs with your bullshit ass TikToks. Please. Pretty fucking please with a cherry on top. Then don't throw the stem back in the milkshake jar because that's fucking psychopathic.
Do you mean like the mashups?
Everything.
Okay.
When they do a bullshit ass dance to it, when they're making that whack ass, burger with like mac and cheese and peppers and put a fucking pound of pulled pork on it. Like, stop fucking up the good songs with your whack ass TikToks.
Okay.
Here we go. I'm gonna give you a good example. Have you heard Pretty Brown Eyes by Mint Condition?
Mm-hmm.
No.
You have. And then
It's probably gonna be in my top listened to songs this year, to be honest with you.
right. And TikTok has fucking ruined that.
Because they sped it up.
Because it's a good song. You don't need to alter it. It's a hit. It's a classic. You know, look, I'll give you a better one. Dude literally in Indianapolis is going around and people are paying him money to show up to their dealerships and to their parties with the striped shirt on and a cup to just do this to thinking with my dick. He's making thousands of dollars off of that. That guy lives in Indianapolis. I've seen him. Like he drives like a Subaru.
Are we mad because someone else got to the bag first?
No, I'm not mad that somebody else got to the bag. It's just like these songs have been around so long, and then people use them, and it's just like I feel like they're just ruining the song.
So I'm gonna disagree with you. I think
you can disagree.
I think in an aspect, like what they did with Pretty Brown Eyes, I think that was unnecessary. However, what I also think that it's doing, it's bringing the older generation of music to the newer generation of people in a more palatable way that they can appreciate it. You got to keep in mind the way that music was consumed back in the day was through like CDs or 8-tracks or, you know, cassette tapes, things like that. Now it's consumed through social media. There have been people who have made money off of TikTok songs. They put their songs on TikTok and they make money off of that. There are people who make songs specifically for TikTok now. I think that there is a power that TikTok has in being able to bring these older songs to a newer generation. Now, when you're mashing them up and you're screwing them around and things like that, that's one thing.
Okay.
But
so
like
that's what I mean. So yeah. Maybe
Yeah.
I misunderstood what you were asking about mashing up.
So like the mashup, like for example, a big mashup right now is the mashup between Boogie Wonderland and Gimme Gimme More by ABBA.
I haven't heard
Which
that.
it would sound, for people who don't listen to Boogie Wonderland regularly, it sounds like Boogie Wonderland, but it's not. They're just very similar songs. Why? Because it was disco era, but that's a whole other conversation. Yeah. I mean, there's repetition in disco. I think that's one of the things that makes it great. But anyway.
One mashup that I do like, and it's the A Baby. Because
Hurricane Chris.
There are 3 classic songs in that mashup. Sean, $20 if you can name all 3.
I haven't even heard the mashup, so I don't know what you're talking about.
Hold on. You seriously haven't?
No.
Have you ever seen the video where the guy's like gliding, like stepping, and it's like his feet aren't really touching the ground?
Oh, okay.
$20 right now if you can name all three songs in that mashup.
Okay, so you got the A Baby, which is easy. You have the song My Neck, My Back. The last one is what's getting me.
Play it. I want to hear. I want to guess.
It goes da 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 da. Like I don't.
Are we gonna get in trouble if I play it?
We don't make money.
Okay, so fuck it, they can sue us.
No.
Hold on.
Sorry, I couldn't go any longer without eating. I had to eat. So I apologize for the viewers and apologize to y'all.
What'd you order?
Popeyes.
I can't hear.
I can't get the third one. I can't get the third one.
I'm gonna play this song, and you're gonna be so disappointed in yourself.
I know, because I know it. I know it. As soon as you like, and as soon as.
I don't know who the hell.
Really? Let me skip up something.
Who is it?
Really?
It's familiar. I can't put a finger on it.
That's Anniversary by Tony Tone Tone.
Tony Tone Tones.
Oh, okay. Yeah, my grandma would have known it. My mom.
Don't try to hold me like that, like I'm old.
I mean, you don't want over here complaining about TikTok. I mean, I'm just throwing that out there. You don't want over here being like these damn kids and their TikToks.
These damn kids and their TikTok and their
screwing up all the old songs.
Look, unpopular opinion. I love when I'm around my family and they're playing oldies and they're like, oh, they call me Harry. Oh, Harry, how do you not know? How do you don't know this one? And I'm like, it's before my time. I was born in 97. Hold me accountable for the hits that came out 97 onward, 2000 onward, when I could actually recognize music. Why are you expecting me to have gone back and listened to all of this old shit? I'm happy it was a moment for you. I'm happy it was impactful to you. I don't know it, and that's okay.
Bro, that came from the heart, didn't it?
I'm on the heels of
the thing is, this is how a lot of our conversations go. Like, there will be a point where we'll disagree on something. He's like, I'm glad that means something for you. It just doesn't do it for me. It's one of my favorites.
I'm always happy for everybody else.
I love it.
I'm excited.
My mom is a singer.
Okay.
According to you, your whole family's a singer. I ain't heard y'all sing a single note.
Sing "Make It Last Forever" by Keith.
We're not gonna sing for the white boy, number one, and number two.
Do it for Pride Month.
My mom, like growing up, I didn't get to start listening to rap till I was like 8, 9, when my older cousins used to come around and start playing like Pastor Troy and all that stuff like that. And so it was like the old stuff. And back then I hated it, but now I'm like, man, this is kind of cool.
See, that's what I appreciate you saying that, because that makes sense. And what I try to explain to people when I get judgmental eyes, like, people, threaten to revoke my black card because I don't know the old hits and shit. I'm like, play me early 2000s Trina, and I'm gonna spit bar for bar for you, because that's what my mom played. I mean, my mom was young, my mom was hot, my mom was in the streets. We wasn't listening to Keith Sweat and Marvin Gaye. We was in the car listening to Trina, Lil Kim, Yin Yang Twins. I mean, that's just what I listened to. Like, I don't know. That's how I grew up.
To the window, to the wall.
Yeah, like, exactly right. Like, I mean, that's just how I grew up. My dad was listening to Jeezy and reggae and Lil Wayne, and that's what I listened to. So my parents are both on the younger side.
I'm gonna tell you like this, okay? It is something that I think you should get into, but you should get into it on your own.
Yeah, I mean, I appreciate that. This past time I went to go visit my family, they had me DJing. I've saved a lot of old hits, some Teddy Pendergrass, some Marvin Gaye. I've always loved the Temptations, the OJs. So I'm trying to explore a little bit.
I'll give you my list, right?
Mhm.
You're a Spotify user?
Yep.
It's pretty mixed. So
Okay.
like just you can pick and choose, and if you like an artist, start a list with that artist, right?
Yeah.
And then Spotify will go, hey, add this guy. So
all right.
half the time Spotify be suggesting songs like, no, I'm not putting that in there.
Yeah.
But
I used to get some awesome recommendations on Spotify. I used to get like back in the day, like in 2015, 2016 time, we were on Spotify all the time. Man, I used to get some great recommendations on Spotify. And then one day, I don't know what happened. Somebody got a hold of my Spotify and they started listening to other shit, and I haven't gotten past that yet.
You know what, Sean? That period of time when we shared a Spotify, like I'm still getting suggestions based off of the shit that you were playing.
I'm getting suggestions based on the shit that you playing. So
what the fuck is this?
Yeah, I agree. I'm in the same boat sometimes. My goddamn.
Listen, I was the trendsetter when it came to music. You can argue this all day long, but I was the trendsetter.
It's hard to claim being a trendsetter to somebody who wasn't aware of like any trend. Like that's essentially claiming, hey, I taught a child how to talk. Like, okay. I didn't know anything about it. So of course, everything that you talked about would be the thing that I fucking knew. Now it's different.
No, Sean, you're not setting any trends.
I didn't say I was setting trends. I mean, you ain't setting trends, but
you don't need to set trends.
Well, then what's the conversation? What's the conversation we have?
Just saying, I was a trendsetter. Now you got your own taste, and you can go along. I taught you well, my son.
What's the conversation here?
There is no conversation. I made a statement, and you went on the rant.
Babe, I'm sensing some unresolved pre-hip hop trauma that needs to
be... You need a little Luke Bryan to calm you down.
Earlier, you know how I started doing this? It's because Lional was going on this whole thing about, yeah, you tell somebody that a song's great, and then a couple months later, they're like, oh, yeah, or they say it's ass, and then a couple months later, they're like, oh, yeah, this is the thing. I was waiting on him to turn it on me, because he does this at least once a week, like at the very least once a week.
See, the thing is, it's just like, I didn't have to, because I know you turned the gun on yourself, like you just did.
It's okay to say, you know what, Lionel, I appreciate you for showing me.
You think I haven't?
I don't think he has.
You think I haven't?
You yelling. My hands are up.
He brings this up.
My hands are up.
Every week.
Hey, don't get all defensive, Sean. Like,
I'm trembling. I'm a little scared. Why are we yelling
from you? Oh, thank you, baby. My wife brought me popcorn. Oh, and a soda.
You know what I'm saying?
And a napkin.
When you send me songs that I never heard before, I'd be like, Sean, I listened to this for the third time this week. Thank you. I really enjoyed this. Sometimes you send me shit. I'm like, you could have kept this one to yourself. And that's what it is. Just, be appreciative.
You think I have it? I have. You just don't know how to let shit go. We've been on the same
time. I'll never bring it up again.
Been on the same thing since 2016. Say what one more time?
Acknowledge one more time and I'll let it go.
Acknowledge what?
Whatever you want to acknowledge.
So
Sean's all pissed off about music. Let's move on to a more serious note.
A topic I'm gonna get more pissed off about.
Yeah. All right. So guys, it's literally been a month since we covered the last mass shooting in this country.
Yep.
I'm gonna enable screen sharing real quick, Sean.
Yep.
So people, I'm gonna show y'all something, okay? Before we even get into this. Let's share screen. That's snap music, by the way, guys. Okay.
Ringtone rap. Oh boy. Anyway.
This is Chicago, people. You see the lines here. This is pretty much O'Hare right here. all the way to the Indiana state line, right? From Evanston south to from Whiting west, from Rosemont east. That is Chicago. Was it Chicago proper?
I think it's Chicago proper, yeah.
Highland Park is way up here. Okay. There's Highland Park here in Chicago. You see the distance? 27 miles. Okay. This is not Chicago. Have we all come to an understanding?
It's actually one of the more wealthy places in Illinois, to my
Right.
understanding. I don't know a ton about Chicago. However, that is definitely something that I've been aware of. So yeah, Highland Park, not the same as Chicago. So
It's not Chicago.
the reason why we bring that up is I'm sure you have heard from a lot of different news sources and things like that. Oh, this happened in Chicago. And of course, all of you have the same Chief Keef, Lil Durk, you know, Chirac opinion of Chicago. Too bad that's not where this happened.
Yeah, I mean, continue.
So, and I mean, there's more to say on that. I'll let Diante take that one. But what I'm going to say is this. I haven't even looked into it yet. But what I do know is that when I look at that individual that they now have in custody, by the way, I don't know if any
Not a scratch on them.
Huh? Yeah, not a scratch on him. Of course not. He looks like a neo-Nazi. Like, if there's a thing of a neo-Nazi, I don't know when y'all, and by y'all, I mean the people who sit there and try to make this conversation about anything else besides we need to fix the gun problem here. I don't know when y'all are going to wake up and realize that, like, the people are the same every time. And they have the same rhetoric as all of these individuals who are sitting there saying, we need all the guns we can get all the time to protect ourselves from the government. The only government entity that is really going around murdering people on a level like mass shooters are the police.
And if you're worried about the government and their guns, then you don't know how tanks work.
I mean, honestly, if you honestly feel as though your little tiny little rifle is gonna stop from having to deal with that little sound machine that'll blow your fucking eardrums out as soon as they play it, I mean, they don't care about you having guns because they have the tech. I say this all the time, anytime anybody talks to me about America and the military, I am not concerned. You know why? Because we spend so much money on the military that we have eclipsed every single other country when it comes to military technology. So anything that anybody could throw at us, we could throw it back at them tenfold. It's been that way for 60 fucking years.
The government can literally kill somebody in one room in a house from 50 miles away and not damage the rest of the house. Like, and you guys are worried about what? 30 people. We're talking about 30 people who got shot yesterday at a parade, a 4th of July parade at that. Like, this ain't cool.
Nope.
Yeah. And to expand off of Sean's point earlier in regards to Chicago and gun violence that takes place in Chicago, you know, on any other day, and then the mass shooting and how the two are correlated. I mean, they aren't. And I think there are socioeconomic impacts that cause, you know, impoverished and specific groups of, you know, Black and people of color in Chicago to, you know, exhibit the violence that they do on another, you know, on any day. And we can have there can be an entire episode in regards to that and what needs to be done to resolve that. But that is completely independent of the violence and the intent and, like you said, the rhetoric behind the type of person that committed the violence that happened in Highland. So definitely unrelated. I think for me, and I think what and I don't know if this is unpopular. I don't know if this is something that sets me apart. I'm sure a lot of other people feel this way, but I don't feel very desensitized to the violence, the gun violence that happens. I truly think it's actually terrifying. It's not like, oh, it's just another shooting to me. Like someone who I consider myself to be very empathetic, but I can't even imagine, not only the people that lost their lives and their families, but the people that were there and lived through it and have to continue on in everyday life following, a situation in which, your life flashes before your eyes. You're absolutely petrified. I just think that the impact that it has every single time is, enormous. And I mean, it's really disheartening. It's disheartening to think that kids are going to grow up, remembering a time in which they were shot at and they didn't know where the shooter was coming from, or they watched somebody fall next to them, or they seen someone bleeding. I truly think it's terrifying, not to mention the fact that he wasn't, even apprehended the same day. So these are people that went to sleep at night, terrified, not having answers, not knowing what happened. And, they have to live with that. You can read stories about Sandy Hook and the survivors in that town and how that entire community has changed since the shooting. And that is a lifetime of sadness that people have to live with. And there hasn't been stringent legislation or judicial support in making any kind of change there. And the parents are going to be the ones continuously impacted by that. So
y'all just need to start admitting that you just don't care about other people besides yourself. It's just kind of what it comes down to. Like, if you are seeing this day in and day out and you just don't care, you just start admitting it to yourself.
Here you go. Here's another pop quiz for you. $1 for every city you can name in the top 10 with the highest murder per capita rate.
New Orleans is always there.
Okay, $1 for you.
Fantastic.
Atlanta.
$1 for you.
Chicago.
No money for you.
Chicago's not on there.
Miami.
No.
Is Montgomery on there?
Montgomery.
Alabama?
No.
I don't know of another Montgomery. I don't know where it's at. I know New York doesn't have a ton of stuff.
LA.
No.
Detroit.
No.
Damn.
Somewhere in Oregon?
No.
Texas?
Anchorage.
Anchorage, Alaska.
No. No.
Nothing in Texas?
No.
Shocking.
Apparently, El Paso is one of the safest places to live, which I would have never imagined.
So, Kansas City, Missouri, not Kansas City, Kansas, is 14 murders per 100,000 people. So 14.6 is their murder per capita. Atlanta's number 9 with 14.9. Philadelphia's number 8 with 15.1. Rochester, New York is number 7 with 16.6. Cleveland is 6th with 16.9. Milwaukee is 5 with 19. St. Louis is 4th with 27. Birmingham is 3. Baltimore is 2. New Orleans is 1. What do 1, 2, 7 out of the 10 of these cities have in common? They are in states where there are no gun laws, essentially. Rochester, Atlanta, well, there are gun laws in Pennsylvania, but Pennsylvania is technically a blue state. Is it a blue state? They just voted blue in the presidency.
They voted blue.
No, they're a red state.
They're red.
So, well, actually, all these are red states, minus New York.
New York's the only one that's not red, and the only reason, I guarantee you, if you go to the area that Rochester's in, I guarantee you that's a red area. I
Most of New York
guarantee
is
you
red,
that's red.
but New York City is like most of the population, so they're blue. So it ain't a blue-red thing because most of the murders are happening in red states.
No, it's definitely a red thing.
Yeah.
It's not a blue thing. So all this stuff about all these issues with the relaxed gun law, well, not even that, with the strict gun laws and the sanctuary cities and all that, miss me with the bullshit because your argument's dumb.
You know,
It's
Indiana
dumb.
on July 1st, the state of Indiana says you don't need a permit to carry. You do not need a permit to conceal carry. And the police cannot ask you for it. Ask me how many murders there were this weekend.
I can't even imagine.
A lot. At least 5 from Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday.
I don't understand the people who will sit there and go, if we make stricter laws, it's not going to prevent any of the problems. But yet those same people will sit there and go, oh, well, if you just follow the law, then we won't have problems. I don't understand that logic.
Yeah, that's.
And again, it comes
trash.
down to, above anything else, it comes down to you just don't give a shit about anybody except yourself or your family or the people who you choose to give a shit about. But you don't care about people who have no effect on your life. And if you want to live your life that way, fine. But I need you to stay out of politics. Quite frankly.
I agree.
I feel as though if you are a selfish individual, you should not have a conversation in politics. Because politics isn't about you. It's about all of us.
I also feel like people have trouble wanting to persecute or hold people accountable that look like them. So when you line up people that are, mass shooters or, historically tend to be mass shooters or people that are behind these crimes, I think a lot of people who are influencing the decision behind gun laws, that looks like their brother. That looks like their dad. That looks like, someone related to them, a nephew or something like that. And I think there's this lack of wanting to kind of really lean in and not only examine, the laws that are enabling people to do what they're doing, but, what is radicalizing these young men to want to go out and do this? What is, filling their head when they make the decision to go out there and, slaughter a whole bunch of people? And nobody's ready to have that conversation. And I think there's a variety of factors that impact it, but, you don't want to live life, under the impression that your son is going to be the next mass shooter. So what do? You willfully ignore it. You willfully let them, peruse sites like 4chan and all of these, kind of dark-sided, just dusty, disgusting corners of the internet, and allow them to be radicalized by hate. And I think it's sad. I truly think it's sad knowing that a lot of it's preventable. But what do you do?
And I think that's a major point in this that we need to reiterate, and that needs to be talked about a lot. These shootings are preventable. These aren't things that are, oh, well, it was just a tragic event. There was just nothing we can do. No, there's a lot we can do. And it's about time that we stand up and say, hey, there's a lot we can do and we should do those things. And again, my number one thing there is to go out and vote for the people who are actually going to do something about these problems. Or else it might be you.
But hey, Sean, you forgot one thing though. Hang on. But thoughts and prayers.
Those are helping.
Thoughts and prayers. Now, Diante, this is the part of the show where you get to say or talk about whatever you want with no opposition from Sean and I.
Oh, the pressure's on. I think coming off the heels of not only Gay Pride Month, I guess I don't want to say unexpected, but the overturn of Roe v. Wade, the mass shooting. If you are a cis heterosexual man, if you are a cis white gay man, if you are in any kind of subsect of a community and you hold power, and you have societal power, use that to your advantage. Love the person next to you, harder and more than you love yourself. Protect them. I think even with everything going on, I still tend to think about, Black trans people who are continuously persecuted, trans women who are continuously persecuted, under the guise of protecting cis het women's lives and sports and shit like that. I think that tends to be the stuff that I really feel passionate about. So all I'm saying is, go the extra mile, really take the time to educate and do your research. And in no way am I saying I'm perfect. There's a lot more that I could be doing too. But if you consider yourself to be an ally, if you consider yourself, maybe supportive, but unsure what the next step is, the internet is your friend. Look at mutual aid organizations and initiatives. Look at grassroots efforts in your city. Look at ways to get involved, and speak out. I think in the very least, I'm not here to coach or tell you what to do with your time. But I think one of the biggest things that I try to preach to people around me that don't look like me, that don't live the life that I have, or don't identify like I do, speak out when you're around people and you hear something, when you hear some bullshit, say something, because that's how you change minds. That's how you spark the conversation, and that's really how you show support.
Wow.
And thank you, obviously, Lionel, Sean, for having me today. This was an awesome experience. I was so happy to come on and kick it with y'all.
Of course. Thanks, babe, for coming on.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. I love you.
I love you.
Oh my God.
You knew it was gonna happen.
God.
Well,
I love you guys, but you guys are mushing me to death. Like,
that may be true, but I'm getting real hungry. So
okay.
I think it's about time to wrap up.
Well, next week on But Peep This, the podcast, we will be talking about NBA free agency.
Ooh, balls.
All right. Fantastic.
So we will be talking about free agency plus whatever the hell we want to.
As always.
Week. As always, we appreciate y'all watching. Like, subscribe, share. I'm Lionel. That's Sean. That's Diante. And this is But Peep This, the podcast.
Y'all
This
be
is
good.
a Chucky Beat production.